Welcome to Own Your Words. Effervescent. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Effervescent. Effervescent. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. An effervescent liquid produces bubbles of gas. 2. Having the property of forming bubbles, marked by, or, producing effervescence. 3. An effervescent liquid is one that contains, or, releases bubbles of s. 4. If you describe someone as effervescent, you mean that they are lively, entertaining, enthusiastic, and exciting. 5. Something effervescent has bubbles or froth, like a sparkling cider, or, a bubble bath. Examples. 1. If you describe someone as effervescent, you mean that they are lively, entertaining, enthusiastic, and exciting. 2. It's these small things you have to admire, as much as the effervescent booming drives. 3. She wasn't quite looking effervescent, though, if he had to be honest with himself. 4. Her effervescent presence led colleagues to liken her to a glass of champagne. 5. Her effervescent personality has, undoubtedly played its part, in that surge in interest. 6. The effervescent performance of certain sought-after addresses is, flattering the figures. 7. Walton described Collins not just as effervescent, but down-to-earth and relatable. 8. She's one of those effervescent personalities that you often see hosting TV game shows. 9. As a result, in those years the city experienced a vital, and, effervescent cultural period. 10. There was something about Arise's effervescent mischief, that made people forgiving. 11. In fact, he was so afraid that, he suppressed an effervescent personality, and, kept to himself. Effusive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Effusive. Effusive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Expressing welcome, approval, or, pleasure in a way that shows very strong feeling. 2. Strongly expressed, or expressed with a lot of emotion. 3. If you describe someone as effusive, you express pleasure, gratitude, or approval in a very enthusiastic way. 4. Showing your good feelings in a very excited way. 5. Characterized, or formed by a non-explosive outpouring of lava. Examples. 1. Carville delivered his message to reporters in his typical effusive, arm-waving style. 2. Basaltic, effusive eruptions occur on a fissure system, parallel to the ridge. 3. I do not want to be too effusive about this, because the £20 million is amply justified. 4. There were some nervy moments, and, the Spanish press were hardly effusive in their praise. 5. I said, although surely I didn't sound quite as effusive, now that I was completely faking it. 6. The ambassador was polite but not effusive in his praise, and, I took offense. 7. She did forget the name of the other most memorable character, bearded and effusive. 8. A boon to Western Union, he conducted business by wire, in effusive capitals. 9. Mark is less effusive than his wife, but he echoed the power of this work. 10. 3 people love the way Alistair performed, perhaps rather too effusive in their praise. 11. Andy, unusually effusive, was able to provide details of the connection. 12. The critic Robert Christgau compared his effusive energy to Michael Jackson. Elusive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Elusive. Elusive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Something or someone that is elusive is difficult to find, describe, remember, or achieve. 2. Things that are elusive are hard to find, pin down, or remember. They slip right out of your grasp. 3. An alien, or animal is difficult to find or not often seen. 4. An elusive idea or quality is difficult to describe, or understand. Examples. 1. We repeatedly tried to contact the manager, an elusive man who was never in his office. 2. Evidence as to the underlying mechanisms, responsible remains elusive. 3. Good operational measures of, and data on, specificity are notoriously elusive. 4. Yet a definition of what elites actually meant, when talking about civilization is elusive. 5. That nationally representative sample is, becoming increasingly elusive though. 6. Equal rights have been won but equal status, and, equal power remain far more elusive. 7. He envied her the specificity of her task, so unlike the elusive nature of his. 8. They are finding the American dream of moving up, far more elusive than it was for Xanacos. 9. The elusive rain shuts off suddenly, like the storm did last year in the arena. 10. Matthias guessed that they were off somewhere, still trying to catch the elusive hare. 11. Finally, we headed into the cloud forest, in search of the elusive resplendent Quetzal. Eruptive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Eruptive. Eruptive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Erupting, or, tending to erupt. 2. Causing, or, characterized by a skin eruption. 3. Bursting forth, or, tending to burst forth. 4. Pertaining to, or, of an eruption. 5. Producing, or, characterized by eruptions. Examples. 1. Then there was an eruptive movement, people pushing forward, other people pushing back. 2. Painting surfaces are punched, or slashed through, or ooze as if with eruptive disease. 3. The offerings ranged from exquisite formal precision to, eruptive bedlam. 4. They are found chiefly in the neighborhood of, the eruptive masses. 5. Farther northwards they give way again, as in the south, to schists and eruptive rocks. 6. They consist chiefly of gneiss and schist, with granite and other eruptive rocks. 7. It is clear, then, that these fires could be, readily triggered by volcanic eruptive materials. 8. Therefore, we concluded that, migratory birds would spread AVE in its eruptive period. 9. Goat Rocks is a stratovolcano with, a somewhat complicated eruptive history. 10. These changes have been related to volcanic activity, in this eruptive neighborhood. 11. I thought that, I certainly must compose a more advanced, more attractive eruptive fountain. 12. She conveys a mercurially eruptive spirit, that makes Pauline mysterious and utterly captivating. Evasive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Evasive. Evasive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. If you describe someone as evasive, you mean that, they deliberately avoid, giving clear direct answers to questions. 2. Tending or seeking to evade, characterized by evasion. 3. Answering questions in a way that is not direct or clear, especially because you do not want to give an honest answer. 4. Done to avoid something bad happening. Examples. 1. The answers to questions like this remain very evasive, and indeed, often woolly. 2. He was evasive about the circumstances of his first meeting with Stanley Dean. 3. He was being evasive, and that, on top of being sassed by someone my own age, frustrated me. 4. Marcia didn't trust the woman, and was evasive when she made inquiries. 5. I called her long distance, in Philadelphia, to find out, and she was suddenly evasive. 6. There is no room here for evasive, theoretical, or fanciful interpretations of the law. 7. She is not weepy or evasive, instead there's an urgency about her tone that surprises me. 8. Apparently his evasive driving skills extended to navigating Lala past potential distractions. 9. He had a weather-beaten face, and dark eyes with a slightly evasive expression. 10. He shrugged, and I couldn't tell if it was a tic, or if he was deliberately being evasive. 11. He was being evasive again, as when I'd asked him about the writing on my cross. 12. Mrs. Glass adjusted her sitting position, with a little evasive shift to the right. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Meanings and examples are available in video description.